you understand?
Hey everybody, I'm Tony Jones, and welcome to the Tony Jones Show.
It's not enough. People are willing to take the risk. It's sort of a herd mentality, a lemming-like mentality. If you don't go with the flow, you're anti-American and therefore a suspect.
The Tony Jones Show, featuring punk, rockabilly, psychobilly, and Providence, Rhode Island's finest, starts right now.
He's a dangerous militia member, I hear. Oh, and there she blows.
Dreamt I was naked and I shaved my head, but that wasn't hard to do. When I awoke to what I thought was a dragon's breath, but then I saw it was you, and all these feelings inside my mind, well, they don't waste no time. And these thoughts running through my head, they make me feel like I'm some kind of foreigner. I went to the valley just to take a stroll and see what I could find. Just a thought or a memory that could slow my roll. Please God, just give me a sign. 'Cause all this dirt underneath my nails, well, darling, it never fails to remind me of who I was, walking around like a great ball of fire. And I know that this life's a game, but I don't feel like playing. And for those that I've stepped on and the bridges burned, well, I hope you hear what I'm saying.
friends, the time for mediocrity and broadcasting is over. My name is Tony Jones, and you are tuned in to The Tony Jones Show, your destination for talk and rock. Online at TonyJones.org, Facebook.com/The Tony Jones Show, on the almighty Twitter at Tony Jones in RI. Be sure to go to RIFreeRadio.org for all your web entertainment needs. Great to be here with you. Of course, at the top of the hour, I have to thank everybody who was part of the Rhode Island Free Radio second year anniversary last week. Rocky Point Clam Shack, great family day out. Good time was had by all. The weather held up for us. The night before DJ Psycho Eddie, I had to make that white-knuckling call. Do we cancel? Which, if I canceled, I would have looked like a total jerk because the weather was perfect the next day. Or must the show go on? And the show went on. And luckily for me, I actually was able to make the right decision.
Well, fortunately, you did make the right decision. However, I would have probably yelled at you because I had, without a word of exaggeration, 6 different weather websites, WeatherBug, and like, honestly, I was perusing the weather for at least 2 to 3 hours out of the day before.
And it's interesting because the owners of the Rocky Point Clam Shack had asked me, will you be canceling? And I was thinking to myself, I should really be asking Eddie if we're canceling because he's the guy out there with $5,000 worth of equipment. If one of those New England microbursts come through, we're going to be a little screwed.
Well, I did prepare ahead of time. This is not my first rodeo outdoors. I have a bunch of garbage bags, contractor bags, which fit perfectly over the speakers. The only thing that really would have taken any type of damage would have been my laptop, which of course would have been in the bag as soon as I even smelled rain.
Which we had to utilize at the Paracon. Yes. Nothing says it's about to rain out like just grabbing a bunch of hefty bags and throwing them over all the equipment.
No. I actually keep a bunch of contractor bags, a box of contractor bags in my gear at all times. If I'm outdoors at all, I have to keep them with me because I am neurotic with that stuff.
As the Boy Scouts say, be prepared.
Be prepared. Well,
in just a little bit, we're going to talk about manure. Eddie, did you hear about this story in Exeter?
Yes, actually I have.
Well, it hit very close to home because I am in the process of helping George Garner out with his wedding, as I'll be serving as his best man. And we do have a date for George Garner's last gasp bachelor extravaganza. It's going to be October 8th at Firehouse 13 in Providence. And no, you're all invited. It's going to be a free show. Everybody's welcome to come out. It's going to be a great horror-themed evening. George would have it no other way than having bands like Dead Girls Don't Say No, Wolfman Chuck, and the Brimstone Boys, and Necrophiliac Meat Circus for his bachelor party. So it's going to be a blast.
I got to say, I've already been making a few phone calls just to make sure, because I noticed you ended this event at midnight, which leaves 2 hours of quality drinking and or entertainment time.
That's right. Do you remember that old song from the 70s? We got a mighty convoy.
Well, that's what I'm kind of hoping for. I'm not going to mention what. However, there are extracurricular activities taking place immediately following. You have to be there to find out.
And, I've decided that I'm going to need a designated driver that night, which for health reasons, for the most part, I've largely quit drinking. I'll have maybe 1 beer a week. Actually, usually it's here on Sundays. I'll enjoy my weekly beer. Not for lack of wanting to drink, but for health reasons. Yes, hear that sound? The famous Narragansett beer. But I've decided I will need a designated driver. I'll need a ride home after George Garner's.
I don't have a problem doing that. I got the equivalent of a residential school bus. I can hold about 8 people in there, even larger people. I've tried this out already.
Especially larger women.
I cannot partake. I am a married man. However, if you guys are willing, I will be more than happy to be the designated driver.
There's some Uber driver right now just thanking the Uber gods that you said that, because he's not going to pull up to me rip-roaring drunk on the streets of Providence on a Saturday night.
Excuse me, sir. I cannot be your Uber driver. You're too large to fit.
I don't know if I've ever mentioned this. I think I may have mentioned it on your show, but I'm not sure. But I go to Newport quite a bit. It's kind of like a nice change of pace from Providence. It's very close to me. I'm just over the bridges, and very popular in Newport right now is pedicabs, almost the equivalent of a rickshaw, where it's this dude on a bike and a few seats in the back, and they'll take you where you want to go. And I swear to God, when those pedicab drivers are queued up and they see me walking, they're thinking, please don't let this guy get in my pedicab, for the love of God.
Well, it's either you or a family of 4. Take your pick.
I probably weigh just a little bit more than a family of 4.
I think we're neck and neck on that one.
All right, let's go back to the music. Band that was in studio the last time we were here, and great feedback from their appearance. The first time I've ever gotten fan mail from someone's mother. Yes, Roger's mother, while we were on the air, messaged in here and told me, thank you for having 1031 on the show. Of course, if you go to facebook.com/Tony Jones Show and on Twitter @TonyJonesNRI, if you're catching me live, I do monitor the social media accounts throughout the program. And yes, that was my first time ever getting fan mail from someone's mother. They're going to have a big show October 15th at the Riverside Sportsman Association in East Providence, Rhode Island. We're going to have a double shot of 1031 up next for you, starting with Han. That feeds You Heard It Here First on The Tony Jones Show.
You can't hide. Seek the truth from deep inside. Hold the tide, but will not tell. Hold the tide, but will not sell. Ride the tide of lullaby. Seek the truth from deep inside. Do you
I Will Not Drown, the name of that one from 1031 off of the EP Trick or Treat. A double shot of 1031. Before that, we heard Hand That Feeds, 1031, a band that was in this studio just a few weeks ago, and a band who I feel absolutely just nailed it out of the park on their debut EP. Been spinning it here, been spinning it in the car, and in full disclosure, RJ Gregory and I go way back. He was a drummer for Tony Jones and the Cretin 3, but nonetheless, even if I didn't know any members of the band, I would still think that that was a killer EP. Now, don't forget, October 15th at the Riverside Sportsman Association, East Providence, Rhode Island. You can check those guys out for their first ever Halloween party. Up next, a band, in my opinion, one of the most underrated bands of all times, with one of the most killer bass lines of all time. Just this band needs much more love and respect than they currently get, but I digress. We're going to hear from the Smithereens up next. Listen to that bass line on Blood and Roses right here on The Tony Jones Show.
Yesterday, saw you standing in the rain. Then I heard you say, I want to love, but it comes out wrong. I want to live, but I don't belong. I close my eyes and I see blood and roses. Flowers in the springtime. October we were wed. Wintertime the roses died. The blood ran cold and then she said, I want to love but it comes out wrong. I want to live but I don't belong. I close my eyes and I see blood and roses.
Little Smithereens right here on the Tony Jones Show. Blood and Roses, the name of the track you've just heard. Don't worry, I didn't forget. We're going to talk about the Exeter manure story in just a bit. You know, we have a lot of people who nationally and internationally listen to this show, and I don't think they really quite understand just how quirky Rhode Island is, and it's a very unique place. You know, most people think of Rhode Island, they think of Providence, but Rhode Island actually has rolling hills of farmland, and 15, 20 minutes later, you can be in the thick of a city like Providence or the thick of a city like Central Falls, for instance. And, sometimes they overlap, but we'll talk about that in just a little bit, right after a double shot of Michael Graves. He's going to be at Firehouse 13 on Sunday, October 18th, which means when we wrap things up here and I'm done pressing buttons and editing everything and uploading everything, I'll be heading down to Firehouse 13 to see Michael Graves. Back on tour. The man doesn't stop. We're going to hear two up next, starting with Dead Man right here on The Tony Jones Show.
Cold and wind was howling by cemetery high. You were sending shivers down my spine when I was passing by. Oh, heavy glow of food on the rise above the broken crib. Oh, open door and dead hand in the light is reaching out for me. Deadly sight from swollen eyelids stand upon me through the dark. You will never be a man again and waste so much life. Oh, every glow of food on the rise above the broken crib. Oh, open door and dead hand in the light is reaching up for me. Yeah.
Off of Night of Samhain, 2 from Michael Graves, Scarecrow, the name of that one. Before that, we heard Dead Man, again playing October 18th at Firehouse 13 in Providence, Rhode Island. Back out on tour, of course. Be sure to look for Michael Graves online on Facebook and check out the tour schedule if you're not local. He's really hitting it hard on this tour. And yes, at this point, every once in a while here on the Tony Jones Show, we raise the bar in alternative media. We raise the bar in broadcasting. And once in a while, we lower the bar. And that's what we're going to do right now. DJ Psycho Eddie, did you hear about this story? In Exeter, Rhode Island. Now, if you're not familiar with Exeter, it's a rural area. It's farmlands and trailer parks. And
Just to the left of God's country.
It's God's country, exactly. An Exeter man claims his neighbor dumped a large pile of manure close where their properties meet. Gerald is marketing the land he owns on Narrow Lane in Exeter as Gerald's Farm. So he's trying to build a wedding venue, an events venue, Agu Entertainment, which is really big right now. His neighbor found the biggest pile of manure possible. And according to the guy that owns Gerald's Farm, his quote is that it's ripe, raw chicken waste, and he dumped this pile of manure mere feet away from where he's trying to build this venue. And said venue had a wedding scheduled for this past Saturday. The manure showed up Friday night. I've been lucky. I've had some pretty good neighbors over the years, but this is Hatfield's and McCoy's style. Not only to ruin Gerald's Farm, but these poor people that booked the place. This story is from Friday, so I can only assume the wedding didn't happen yesterday. But
no, actually, the wedding is slated for this coming Saturday.
Oh, okay.
But as I read it, and I understand both sides of the story, the guy who's running this farm, who wants to turn it into a business, he doesn't want to actually farm the land. He wants to keep it as pristine as possible and give a nice rural agricultural feel to a wedding.
Right.
However,
which is big right now for some reason.
His neighbors don't want all the added influx of people and cars up and down the road.
Chances are, if you've decided to move to an Exeter or a West Greenwich or something along those lines, there's a reason, right? You want to be left alone.
You want to be borderline on antisocial. I want to go there. So
you want to build a bunker in your backyard.
So I understand. The neighbor just does not want him to have this venue right next door to his house. However, getting a large tractor full of chicken waste and dropping it mere feet from where this union is supposed to take place, I as a former groomsman myself, as a former going through all these weddings, that would be such a negative aspect. Hey, honey, I really love you, and I want to show how much I love you, next to a large pile of crap.
Now, where does one get a large truck full of chicken manure?
Any place that farms chickens.
I'm sure they're probably willing to give it to you, right? You don't even have to pay.
No, it is absolutely horrendous, the smell. As a child, my parents tried to do the backyard garden because I'm the youngest of 5, and if you look at me, we're not small. So they tried to subsidize their food bill by growing their own vegetables during the summer, and we had to pick up a load of said chicken manure. And mind you, we had the prepackaged, pasteurized, descentified, whatever you want to call it, chicken manure, and we still had to keep the windows open, and I was gagging out the window.
Well, I guess, there's more than one way to skin a cat, and if you don't want a venue next to your house, laying down a pile of manure, one way to go about it. This story literally made me laugh out loud when I heard it originally. I was cracking up.
No, I have neighbors that, I don't know if it's fear or respect, but they let me do my own thing. But I also have a stockade fence around my yard, so you really can't tell what's going on back there.
Yeah.
I try not to be that obtrusive into the neighborhood. The only time you really know I'm there is when I start up my truck or my motorcycle. And I just can't imagine having someone that disgruntled with me that they're going to go out of their way to scoop a couple 100 pounds of crap and drop it right next to my property.
If you have good neighbors, say a little blessing for them today. The music continues now. We're going to have, if you can believe it, a double shot from the Evil Streaks up next for you, starting off with The Curse right here on The Tony Jones Show.
every night for me.
The Evil Streaks right here on the Tony Jones Show, coming out of Two From Them. Yes, one of our favorite bands around here. You just heard Pumpkin Carving Party. And before that, The Curse right here on the Tony Jones Show. Facebook.com/Tony Jones Show. On the almighty Twitter at Tony Jones in RI. Be sure to go to rifreeradio.org, click on the contact page, or go to tonyjones.org, click on the contact page if you'd like to be in studio, or if you have music for us, be sure to get it to us. Of course, fall always a busy season around here, and it's pretty busy between now and the end of the year. I'll talk about a few more shows before we wrap things up. On Saturday, September 17th, you have two choices for entertainment that I'd like to bring to your attention. But coming up next, this next block, we pride ourselves on playing a lot of different types of music. So we have what could be two of the most polar opposite groups that we play here. So we'll start off with a double shot from Whiskey Fire, and then we'll have a double shot from Megan Casey. Music you'll hear here on The Tony Jones Show.
used against you. Remain in your place. Burn the evidence. Hide the violence. This is your punishment. This is your punishment. This is your punishment. This is your punishment.
singing like I got 1,000 hungry mouths to feed. And I'll be riding, and I'll be riding, and I'll be riding, yeah, I'll be riding. And I've had lovers before, most of them were true. They were all just rivers and lakes, but the ocean was you. So we'll be riding, we'll be riding, we'll be riding, we'll be riding. Well, I was born right from the devil's head. He said, well, I ain't never gonna be lonely again. I need me a partner, and I'll need her in red. She'll be the finest thing you see, and I'll be the only thing she believes. Fell in love with everything you said, so what you need me to do, I will go on right ahead. Call me sin and I will be your girl. Well, I can never lose you, 'cause I'd be losing me too. Do the devil's work and I'll do it for free. As long as you can always love a girl like me. Call me sin and I've been waiting for you to. Tempting desire, so it's just a brush of fire. Well, don't be scared. what you need me to do, I will go on right ahead. Call me sin and I will be all yours. Well, I can never lose you, 'cause I'll be losing me too. Well, I can never lose you, 'cause I'll be
Girl
losing
Named Sin,
me
the name of that one. Some Megan Casey right here on the Tony Jones Show. Coming out of a double-double, because right here on the Tony Jones Show, you're going to hear some of the most diverse music around. No, you're not going to hear the same 5 or 6 songs over and over and over and over again. You'll hear music like that. We heard a double shot from Megan Casey, A Girl Named Sin. Before that, Sea Monsters, I think the first time Banjos. Before that, we had a double shot from Whiskey Fire, starting off with Punishment and then going into Not Evil. You heard it all here on the Tony Jones Show. And with that, I am just about out of time because the song I want to play last is actually 7 minutes and 40 seconds. Once again, you're not going to hear 7, almost 8-minute songs on terrestrial radio, but you will hear them here on the Tony Jones Show. Facebook.com/Tony Jones Show. On Twitter at Tony Jones in RI. Be sure to go to TonyJones.org and RIFreeRadio.org. DJ Psycho Eddie, thank you for weighing in on these most important topics.
Always a pleasure.
Of manure. And, well, I hope you could check us out next week because we're going to be talking a little wrestling. Always very popular around here. We're going to be talking a little wrestling, professional wrestling that is, here on the Tony Jones Show. We're going to leave here with a little blind revision. This track, Fight or Flight. Bye, everybody. Bye.
From Monday to Tuesday, you don't have any fun. From Wednesday to Thursday, just gonna out for a run. Friday and Saturday, you're always getting drunk. And Sunday, you stay at home and never go to church.
All right, that was Vulgarity, Middle Finger Machine Gun. You're listening to My Night Out Radio, DJ Psycho Eddie Ovier. Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us. In the studio tonight, it's just me and Tony Jones. We couldn't find...
That's a whole lot of loving right there.
That is a huge portion of loving. I got to say, I tried to get a guest in this week, but unfortunately, the people I called all were busy. Because, and I hate to put it this way, but it's sausage and pepper sandwich season. It's a little-known fact around Rhode Island. About this time of year, every year, all the good festivals with all the really good food are happening between now and October.
And you can have food from any ethnicity that you're interested in. We got Greeks, we got Portuguese, we got Armenians.
Well, as luck would have it, you hit the nail right on the head. This weekend was the Greek Festival in Cranston, Rhode Island. I did not pronounce it right. There's supposed to be about 14 A's, Cranston, Rhode Island. However, most people call it a gyro. The actual pronunciation is the gyro. The gyro sandwich, it's got to be my favorite of all the Greek foods next to the baklava, which is the pastry. However, I did not actually go to the Greek festival this year.
Everything I know about Greeks, I learned from the sitcom Full House. Uncle Jesse.
Well, I went to a great little place. You've probably seen the movie called Mystic Pizza.
Love Mystic Pizza.
Well, which one do you go to? Because the one I went to is not actually in Mystic.
See, I go to the one that is semi-close to or on the trek to Foxwoods Casino.
You went to the same one. That's actually called Mystic Pizza 2. In reality, that's the original, and that's also the one that was in the movie, Mystic Pizza. So aptly named. However, we went there, and of course, you know the old adage, you don't make friends with salad. However, the Mediterranean salad over there, you would make friends with because there is meat on it. Copious amounts of meat. Basically, you take the gyro sandwich, which I was just talking about, which is a lamb beef mix, lettuce, tomato, pepperoncinis, tzatziki sauce. Well, they turn that into a salad, which would feed a small family. And it actually wasn't that bad price-wise. You know, when you first look at the price, you're like, oh, my God. And then you realize, well, I'm getting about 4 heads of lettuce here.
See, now, on the flip side of that, and we try not to lambaste anybody here, but we do once in a while lambaste chain restaurants. Have you seen the commercial that Domino's Pizza will now be serving a quote-unquote salad? I mean, it has to be disgusting.
Well, I actually used to work for a chain restaurant a long time ago, which is part of my aversion to chain restaurants. Because, and you know, with any job, you have a standard which you must uphold. However, it is the lowest common denominator, or people go into the lowest possible standard and still be acceptable by whatever that.
Yep, he's still breathing.
Yeah. Well, whatever the franchise says is their minimum standard is what a lot of people work to, and I've seen that. I've done this. I can't bring myself to go to a chain restaurant and subject myself to that type of mediocrity. That being said, however, and getting back to Mystic Pizza, the pizza itself is freaking amazing. You know, the crust was nice and crispy. It was a pan pizza, so it was a thicker crust. It was really good. Now, I also will, you know, this is going to be probably like the third time I've ever spoke poorly of a restaurant. I'd gone to a Chinese buffet, and
just leave it there. You went to a Chinese buffet.
Well, you know,
could you see when you left?
I could see when I left. However, it was so bad, and I'm not going to tell you where it is. So unless you email me, I'll tell you exactly where to avoid it. But I actually got sick fast enough to actually lose lunch in the Chinese restaurant that I ate the food at.
You know, I'm trying to slim down here, so maybe you can tell me the name of this restaurant. A good case of explosive diarrhea will help me clear out.
I literally ate my dinner. They brought the check, and by the time I reached in my pocket to get out my money to pay the check, I had to hand off to my wife. Here's my money clip. Pay the bill. I don't feel so hot.
It's never a good sign when you're wiping the barf off of your mouth with the check.
So needless to say, I will give a hint just for the people that are listening. It is in the Watch Hill, Rhode Island area.
Okay, see, in true Rhode Island form, Watch Hill's way too far away for me.
Well, with the new vehicle, I'm putting on a couple 100 miles a week, just driving around, getting used to the vehicle and enjoying the it's not that old piece of crap I used to drive feeling. But yeah, those were the two, you know, the highlight and lowlight of this week. However, I do have a few more restaurants to talk about because last week we had the RI Free Radio second anniversary party at the Rocky Point Clam Shack. Now, that was, in my estimation, not the best, but right up there. That was some of the best chowder I've had in quite a while. Their clam cakes were absolutely amazing, and I like them that they were a little bit on the smaller side, so you got more. It's all about quantity and quality, and they had both.
Now, I don't want to summon up Wilfred Brimley to jump into the room here, but did you try the fried Oreos?
No, I've had bad experiences with the fried Oreos. However, I do want to bring up, and this was just brought to my attention just a few minutes ago, most of these clam shacks in the state of Rhode Island close up on Labor Day. Labor Day weekend comes, they roll up the sidewalk, and they're done for the season. However, Rocky Point is going to be sticking around well into October, November, or until the weather holds out for them.
Yeah,
really.
pretty much until they can't be open anymore.
If they don't have to shovel the sidewalk when they open, they're going to be open, which I think is a great thing, because what better time of year than when it starts getting that little bit cold, that little bit of nip in the air, that you want the chowder and clam cakes. You know, on a 90-degree day, you don't want to be spooning hot chowder down your... How else can you put that? Well, let me change gears here really quickly. Last night, I went to a show. I went to the Parlor up in it's Providence or Pawtucket line. I forget which.
I think it's right on the line, yeah.
Yeah. But I saw Sex Coffee, Pistol Shot Gypsy, Adapter, and Blood Riders.
Damn.
Now, Blood Riders, if you're not familiar with them, you may be familiar with this little band that came out of Rhode Island a couple years back called Kilgore. Lead singer, Jay Burnt. This is one of his new projects. Nick Idden, who's been all over the Rhode Island music scene. He was there. He's their drummer now. I did not recognize the other two guys. However, I have a feeling I will be getting to know them quite well in the upcoming months, because they just absolutely blew the doors off the place. So definitely 4 names you want to keep your eyes out. If you see a show where they're there, you may want to check them out. With that being said, why don't we cut to a little bit of music? Of course, you know, that was my segue into listening to a little bit of Pistol Shot Gypsy. The name of the song is Slave Yourself. We'll be back in a minute.
I guess it never meant anything. the drugs you do.
Rains in the dark. All I see when I close my eyes, the angel in this nightmare. Something new by design. Sick with twisted love and lust, and pull my ribs and bones aside. If only you could make me feel my heart's for you, the pleasure's mine. Anyway, I could just to know you, to feel you, feel you, feel you. Any chance to crawl inside you, this lust for love breaks through. Every day I could just to know you, to feel you, feel you, feel you. This lust for love rings through. Before I die, I swear I will find you. Now the spell is all over me. What is fake, what's all shit. But what is really for real? And what I go through to believe in. Anyway, I could just to know you, to feel you, feel you, feel you. Any chance to crawl inside you, this lust for love breaks through. Every day I could just to know you, to feel you, feel you, feel you. This lust for love rings through. Before I die, I swear I will find you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Sex Coffee. Name of the song, Love Lust. Before that, you heard Pistol Shot Gypsy. I have to apologize for that little slip over there. I did not review this sober. So, yeah, there was a little F-bomb slip, and I'd like to apologize for that, everybody. The name of the song was Slave Yourself. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, I do want to back up a little bit, talk about the Rocky Point Clam Shack, the second anniversary party on the 4th. I got to give a shout out to Bobby Dumont, Al Diaz, and Brian Cabral, the three guys. They put on acoustic sets for us. They absolutely blew it out of the water. I was not expecting that good of a set from each of them.
And they all brought their families, their mothers and their aunts and grandmas and grandpas. It was a real family experience.
Well, we did bill it as family friendly, and I do have to admit, my mother and father were in attendance from before the music started until just about when Bobby Dumont finished his last song. And I also have to thank the vendors that came out, the people that came out to attend. From what I understand, and from I spoke to Dave from Rocky Point Clam Shack afterwards. He was pleased with the turnout.
Yeah, they didn't know what to expect from me. You know, I have a pretty good rapport. I do some work for those guys, but I pretty much didn't give them any details. I just said, "Give me your clam shack," and they said, "Yes, sir."
I can't tell you how
Don't
many
hit
nights,
me.
I can't tell you how many nights it started off. Give me your Clam Shack. And
Speaking of that, George Gorner's bachelor party will be coming up.
thank you for that segue. That's absolutely correct. October 8th at Firehouse 13. So far, we have, and when I say we, this is all Tony's legwork on this one. We have Necrophiliac Meat Circus with the legendary Dave Sage. We have Wolfman Chuck and the Brimstone Boys. And
With the legendary Dave Sage.
With the legendary Dave Sage. And Dead Girls Don't Say No. Unfortunately, Dave Sage is not in that band yet, but he's working on it. Dave, if you're out there, we love you, man. Anyways, this is a free show. That's right, FREE, free show for a bachelor party. If you're available, if you're in Providence on October 8th at Firehouse 13, this is going to be an epic night of music.
And, that similar lineup is playing this Saturday at Firehouse 13. It's a $12 cover. So, we'll be throwing it out for George absolutely free.
Exactly. So, if you don't know who George Gorner is, George Gorner of The Gorners, Tony Jones and the Cretin 3, and he also has a show on here.
I guess he really would have double thought legally changing his last name to Goner if he knew the Goners were going to break up like 6 months later,
Well, accidents happen. We all make little mistakes. But, definitely October 8th, Firehouse 13. You definitely want to check it out. By the way, if you want to be part of this show, you want to get your music on the air, you want to get out and be heard, hit me up, mynightout.radio@verizon.net. I do check that email quite frequently. Also, Facebook /MyNightOut. MyNightOutRI.com is the website for all your upcoming events. Also, if you want to hit me up on Twitter. Wait, let me explain why I'm making so many mistakes. Are you listening? That's why. I blame it on the Narragansett. Twitter for going to hit me up, DJ Psycho Eddie. Also Instagram, DJ Psycho Eddie or My Night Out RI. Send me your music if you want to advertise your business. If you just want to talk to people and let them know what's going on, hit me up. We'll get you on the air. Now, I do have to, you may know this or not, I've been doing a Fall River run quite a bit lately. I've been going to Fall River. The food out there, if you like Portuguese food and you have not been to Fall River, you have not had real Portuguese food. Now, I've done some research on this. Sagres is the name of a restaurant. It has newly reopened. However, it is, according to the Fall River Herald or one of the newspapers in Fall River, it was the original Portuguese restaurant. It was the first one. And they had a fire in July 2013. It took them almost a year and a half, almost 2 years to rebuild. They are now back open, and I had to check it out. Victor, the owner, Victor De Silva, he's part owner. His brother's still in the kitchen. Most of the wait staff, if not all of the wait staff, kitchen staff, have all returned from wherever else they went while they were rebuilding. And I got to say, the food is as good, if not better, than it was before the fire. Which is saying something because, just the shrimp Mozambique alone was amazing. And that is, if you're going for Portuguese food, that is one of those barometers, one of those litmus tests. If the shrimp Mozambique is good, chances are everything else is going to be really good. Another good sign for this restaurant, they do not have a huge menu. They have a few different items that they specialize in. They do it really well, and you don't really need to go, nobody needs foie gras in their life unless it's a real special occasion, and they have restaurants for that. If you want Portuguese food, it's going to be fish, steak, or chicken, maybe a little bit of pork, and everything is going to come with a fried egg on top, French fries, and rice. So, with that being said, you definitely have to check out Sagres. Look them up. They have a web page, pictures of the new building. The building's absolutely beautiful. And I do have to recommend any Portuguese restaurant, Pavao, P-A-V-A-O, or Avalida, the two green white wines. That doesn't make sense, but green meaning it's a fresh wine. It hasn't been aged in the bottle or it hasn't been aged in a cask. But they are white wines. They're very crisp. those are the two wines you definitely want to have with a Portuguese meal.
So you were just hanging around in West Warwick one day and you decided, let me go to Fall River?
You make it sound stupid when you say it that way.
No, actually, Fall River is one of those, and New Bedford, to tell you the truth, it's one of those areas that really gets, it doesn't live up to the hype of their bad reputation.
You know, I've been there several times. Granted, I'm very hard to kidnap, but I've never seen half the stuff that people say, oh my God, you're going to mug there. Yeah. I've never been mugged. I've never been, held at knife point. I haven't seen people that I know that live there. They're like, yeah, no, not really. Okay. So I actually don't mind it. Granted, it's a 40, 45-mile ride to
and
get
the bridge
there.
is always half closed up.
Well, that's a given. They close one lane on each side. When they finish that lane, they do the other lane, and by the time they're done with the second lane, the first one needs repairing again. But once you get there, the food is amazing. The people are really cool. I mean, they're very laid back. We went to several restaurants there in the last couple of weeks, actually. Well, all right. We'll stretch it a month or two. In a month or two, we've been to several restaurants in Fall River.
For the show, of course.
Of course. This is product research. And the food, I have not had a bad meal yet. The only downside I could say is they put the bay leaves in their meal when they're cooking. They don't pull them out, and if you're not careful, you will choke on a bay leaf. I'm just saying this because this may or may not have happened to me or someone I know.
That would be just my luck. All the crazy things I've done over the years and being in Fall River, the way I die, choking on a bay leaf.
It's just one of those things that happens. But why don't we take a break here? This is another band that I caught last night. The name of the band is Adapter. Now, oddly enough, it's a two-man band. So when you get up there is a guitar, there's a set of drums, and two guys. That's it. And they were absolutely amazing. The name of the song we're going to leave here with is I'll Be Damned. We'll be back in a minute.
couldn't break it. And if you gave me your skull, I would say yeah. Yeah, in my chamber, all the candles, they burn black. You shed those feather winds, I still won't take you back. And I'll be damned for spend my days with you. Yeah, walk the lifted path you got without you. Well, I got hell on my mind that I am leaving you behind. Well, I'll be damned for all with you. You know that if I had a soul, well, I would sell it. And if you told a secret, girl, now I would tell it. Yeah, and if we're the only two, I'd spill my seed. Mankind survivalist, just something I don't need. And I'll be damned for spend my days with you. Yeah, walk the lifted path you got without you. Well, I got hell on my mind and I am leaving you behind. Well, I'll be damned for I'm with you. kind of love make a diamond rain for a girl like you. I crawl out of my grave, my blood runs ice, but my lips are cold. So you better get your fortunes on. I came back for you, baby. You know the devil, he made me. He's got an interest in you, but you know that I do too. We'll wear a black and dress in white. Her makeup smear, her lust ignites. A pendulum dangles from her hand. The flames of hell, I love a fan. I came back for you, baby. You know the devil, he made me. He's got an interest in you, but you know that I do too. Kind of love make a diamond rain for a girl like you. I crawl out of my grave, a pendulum dangles from my hand. The flames of hell, you know I love a fan. 'Cause I came back for you, baby. You know the devil in me, he's got an interest in you. He's got an interest in you. He'll make a slave out of you, but you know that I would too.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Adapter. Name of the song, I'll Be Damned. Yeah, it's been one of them sketchy kind of nights. I got to say, I am a little broken up about this next piece I got to talk to you about. I just received information just last night that the band that we have been promoting here quite a bit on RI Free Radio, on my show, Tony's show, and a few others, Desk, already calling it quits after only one album. I mean, they had a couple of really good shows, but they're calling it quits.
I heard about the band first at last year's Comic-Con. We haven't even made it to this year's Comic-Con, and they've already shat the proverbial bed.
Well, they everyone that was in the band...
Wait, does that mean the desk stickers on our free stuff table are collector's items now? I'm going to have to go scoop those up.
We're going to put them aside. We'll be selling them at Comic-Con for $15 a piece. Actually, no, we don't even have a table at Comic-Con this year, do we? Oh, holy crap. Yeah, we dropped the ball on that one, ladies and gentlemen. We will, at least I will be walking around.
Well, I mean, I'm just thinking to myself, hundreds and hundreds of rows, thousands and thousands of tables. It'll never sell out. We'll just book the table when we're ready. Sold out.
Yeah, well, actually, it was at Paracon. We got a chance to see Steve, who runs Comic-Con, and we're like, oh yeah, we're gonna put in our order our table or get our table this week. Yeah, don't bother. Yeah, we sold out. So that was a little disheartening, but I will be there. I will even throw the money for a 3-day pass, and I will be there all 3 days Each day I will be in a different costume. I'll tell you more about that later. I'm still reeling.
Now, as I mentioned a few weeks ago, one of your most famous costumes can really have some traction this year because he's going to have 2 new restaurants opening up at Foxwoods.
Oh, yes. I'm drawing a blank. Guy Fieri, yes. I got to say, Guy Fieri was surprising at how well that went over this past year. People were stopping me. Everything from the 47 different Harley Quinns to the Sailor Moon, who really should not have been in the Sailor Moon costume, and they all wanted to take pictures with Guy Fieri.
To the Captain Kirk that looks so good that people think he's actually Captain Kirk. That's exactly it. You have something completely unique. You're not going to run into 55 guys throughout the course of Comic-Con.
Exactly. I'm actually even contemplating, depending on how the setup is this year, contemplating breaking out the Santa Claus outfit. I will be sweating profusely. It will not be pleasant, but I think for a good part of the day, I will be dressed as Santa Claus on one of those days. But again, I can't let the cat out of the bag. Can't tell you which days it's going to be. But like I said, I will be there all 3 days. And if you find me, I might even have some goodies stashed away in Santa's sack.
In your sack?
Now, I had another Adapter song lined up in there, didn't I?
Yeah, you played 2 in a row.
I did? Oh.
Yep.
Wow. I think Narragansett has grabbed hold of me and is shaking me
The
violently
devil's
right
lettuce.
now. The second one was Redeemer, by the way, right?
Exactly.
Okay. Let's get back on track. I talked about the Rocky Point Clam Shack, right? Did I tell you about the coupons? No, I did not. In order to keep you guys going out there and really enjoying Rocky Point Clam Shack, they have the 25% off everything but the lobster roll, 50% off the clam cakes and chowder combo. You have to print out the coupon, and I believe we can get that up on the RI Free Radio website.
Absolutely.
And why don't we try to get that on the My Night Out RI as well? Get that out there, and let's see how many people. Make sure you tell them that RI Free Radio, My Night Out Radio sent you out there, because I can't say enough about the place. I was impressed. So why don't we take another break here so I can regroup and maybe sober up a little. We're going to leave here with Melissa Bella Rosa. The name of the song is Moving On. We'll be back in a minute.
Well,
All right, that was the Jesse Minute. Name of the song, Settle Down. Before that, we heard Melissa Bellarosa. Moving on. Well, Tony broke out the rubber hose, beat me back into shape, and I got a few more things to talk about. Something that I have not already talked about today. First off, next Saturday, September 17th, South Water Street in Providence is the Ocean State Oyster Festival. Now, if you are not partial to these delectable little mollusks, morsels, funny-looking clams, however you want to put it, you definitely want to check this out. There will be a micro-brew beer, wine by the glass, oysters from an array of Rhode Island-based growers, also spiked ginger beer, iced tea, water, coffee. It's Rhode Island. Of course there's going to be coffee. And, of course, there's going to be music. There will be DJs there. And for once, I'm talking about DJs, and it's not going to be me. I got to say, this has been my first weekend where I have not been booked since, I want to go back to April.
Wow.
So, yeah, I'm enjoying the hell out of having a weekend off, as you can tell, because I can't talk right tonight. The Narragansett has grabbed hold of me quite nicely. Children are 12 and under are free. I cannot see the price on this, so I'm pretty sure it's not going to be too bad. $10, $15 to get in, maybe a little bit more. I'm not really sure. But this is definitely, check it out. You definitely want to go down there. Also, now I'm going to go to the opposite end into another state. We're going to go down into Mystic, Connecticut. Now, I've been there pretty much every year for the last couple of years anyways. There is a cider mill in Mystic, Connecticut called B.F. Clyde's Cider Mill. If you go down there, now this is going to be near and dear to a lot of fat people's hearts, especially mine. They do have apple donuts,
right,
apple slushies, various other apple accoutrements. However, you almost feel dirty when you go there going for the hard cider because you actually have to go behind the cider mill building. You go down a hill, follow the path
behind the woodshed.
Exactly. It's you go down. It's nice. It's very nondescript, except for this little sign that says hard cider. And then when you get down there, there is a doorway with a plank across it with 10, 12 different varieties of hard cider that you can sample up to 4, and the tasting is free. And you can walk out of there with a half gallon or gallon of hard cider.
It may be hard to find, but any respectable drunk can sniff out free booze, so they have no problem getting there.
Well, I had gone there. Actually, we had gone there last weekend in the midst of everything else that we've done. We went down there. Now, I, of course, am the designated alcohol taste tester. So I had my 4. I had my wife's 4. And we walked away with a half gallon from behind the cider mill. And then as we walked up the hill, there was a guy selling oils and vinegars and different flavors and whatever. So, of course, you have to try those. And the next to them was a maple syrup grower or harvester, whichever you want to call that. So I had to try that. And then when we
couple shots of maple syrup will straighten you out.
Oh, it did. That little jolt of sugar set me straight. However, when you get to the top of the hill, they now have the bottled, almost like wine, hard cider. And you get 4 more free samples.
Damn.
So, needless to say, it was a little difficult making my way out of Connecticut, but we did manage to get our way home. I was not the driver. Before I get hate mail for that, I was not driving drunk when we left. I had someone else who was my designated driver, we'll call it. My darling wife has gotten me out of more drunken jams than I care to remember. She's in the room nodding her head. She refuses to even turn the microphone on. If I turn it on, she'll run in fear. So, that was I think that was last Saturday, wasn't it? Yeah. So, if you had a chance, and it's not that hard to find, B.F. Clyde Cider Mill. It's on North Stonington Road in Mystic, Connecticut, and another Mystic place you definitely want to check out, Mystic Village. They have a new coffee shop.
Well, I'm very active in the Wickford section of Rhode Island, which is part of North Kingstown, for anybody who doesn't know. And one of the things I've mentioned over the years is that we should model ourselves off of Mystic, Connecticut. And now that I know that there's free booze, I'm going to be pushing that platform even more.
Well, anywhere you have free booze is a good thing. Well, that's just my own personal view on that. But I got to say, the Mystic Village, where all the nice little shops are and everything, they have a lot of very eclectic, stuff you're not going to find pretty much anywhere. I mean, they have one store designated strictly for cats and dogs. Anything that revolves around dog treats, cookies, collars, placemats, magnets, bowls, whatever. They have that. They have one that's centered around if you're Irish, if you're from Sweden or Denmark. They even have a store strictly for olive oils, vinegars, and honey. That's all they sell. Olive oil, vinegar, honey, that's it. And they have a lot of different flavors. However, the First Brew Pub, I don't know if it's a brew pub or if they're just dispensing there, but they have a micro brew house. I'm not sure how that gets worded, but actually in Mystic Village, right across from the Blue Squid, which is the French cheesery in the village. They have almost 100 beers on tap. This is coming from an outside source. I was not allowed in because this was the same day as the B.F. Clyde's incident, so we didn't want to tempt fate. But from an outside source, I was told they have close to 100 beers on tap.
When you start referring to your day's outing as an incident, that's not a good sign.
Welcome to my life. Once again, everybody, if you want to get part of this show, if you want to get your information out there, if you want to promote shows, businesses, whatever, hit me up, mynightoutradio@verizon.net. Facebook /MyNightOut, Twitter and Instagram, DJ Psycho Eddie or MyNightOutRI. You also have the website MyNightOutRI.com. I would like to thank everybody for listening. Tony, it's always a pleasure to have one of these days where we can just banter back and forth. A lot has been resolved today, I think.
We got a lot done. We get more done in an hour here on My Night Out Radio than the mainstream radio stations get done in a day.
And you definitely hear eclectic music that you're not going to hear everywhere else. You won't hear most of the stuff anywhere else. So in that genre, I'm going to go with a band that I know HJY or any of the other terrestrial radio stations are not going to play. The name of the band is Sorrow Seed. The name of the song is Corpse Colossus. Can't make this up. Corpse Colossus, Sorrow Seed. Thank you for listening, everybody. I'll catch you next week.
Graves of gravestones. The communal barrel grows restless with alarm. The seeds have been sown. From soil comes a ponderous pulse, the gangrenous mound of arrows. Molten and rancid, the stench to repulse from the boneyards. The Colossus alone, the might of 1,000 strong. Surging through the world. The corpus eclipsing the dawn. The Colossus coalesced in the afterlife. A towering miscreation. Poised to deliver the final fight. The Colossus crushes all. fixing the time. The Colossus cover us in the afterlife, a towering miscreation. Falling to the level, the final slide, the Colossus crushes.